Hey citizens, did you know that some of the food that you are eating could be making you feel bad? Well, that's what happened to me. Stay tuned. Citizens, you've seen the title. This video is about foods that have been making me feel bad, and you may have had similar experiences. So if this video helps you, then that's why I'm posting it. It is no secret that I am like one of the most pickiest eaters out of all of my friends and family. I'll just start back in the beginning. So I just remember like being very, very young and not really wanting to eat everything that everybody else was eating. And I always thought that I was just more sensitive to like spicy things or just exotic things. But what I found out was that things that I don't like have actually had adverse effects to my body. I took a food intolerance test. This one was actually offered by a nurse in my chiropractor's office, and I'll link their information below if you are local and you want to also do this test. So basically I took the IgG, ELISA Standard Food Family Sensitivity Test, and it has a scale, and I'm looking at my papers here. It said it has a scale like 0 is non-detectable all the way up into +6, which is very high, and all of my things have fallen into like the moderate range, which is enough of a irritability for me because I'm very sensitive to like what I eat anyway. What I found was that the side effects that I was experiencing when I ate things that didn't agree with me were like brain fog, migraines, hives on my skin that I thought was eczema, headaches, bloating, irritability, all these different things that just came from just simple, like just changing something in my diet. And a lot of things I thought I attributed to hormones, and that is going to be like a whole nother video because I also did a hormone screen and I haven't got the results of that yet. So what I found from the sensitivity was, and this is the things that were marked 1, 2, or 3 because I didn't go all the way off the charts, is that I have a sensitivity to, and these are common foods, the foods that I probably had in my diet like a lot. Kidney beans, pinto beans, Brazil nuts, cheese, chocolate or cocoa, coffee, eggs, cow's milk, goat's milk, pepper, black pepper, white pepper, white potato, sesame, tuna, baker's yeast, and brewer's yeast. And all of these things were in my diet somewhat, like in certain ways. And I had just started taking up like coffee, and I was like experiencing so much stomach pain, and I was just like, what is going on? And I just know one time I ordered a caramel macchiato, and the next 4 hours of my life were like the worst. I felt like severe stomach cramping and just bloating and just irritability. It's just, I felt so bad for like the next 4 hours after that. And just to think, it was a combination of everything that I was like intolerant to in one single drink. So it was nice to know that these things were having a different effect on me, because then I was able to go into a 30-day detox. And so I'm looking at my 30-day detox, and basically what I did was I eliminated all of those foods that I showed an intolerance to out of my diet for the next 30 days. And I also did like protein shakes, did some supplements like Schisandra, milk thistle, turmeric, and then like a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, which I was like, hey, doesn't that contain yeast? And so they said, you know, it's apple cider vinegar, like the organic one with the mother in it. It's got all the stuff in it. And so I did that for 34 days, and I felt totally different from when I like first started the test, because of all the things that I eliminated out of my diet. And I did see a difference because on my leg, for instance, the patch of skin that I thought was eczema started to lighten up and stop irritating me. My head stopped having, like I stopped having headaches, and the bloating went away. So I saw like immediate results. And so after this 30 days, I'm able to introduce like some of this stuff back into my diet just to see how my body responds to those certain kind of foods. And what I found was that I could eat some of these things like in very, 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 very small doses, but having like a serving of it, no bueno. So a couple things I probably left out of my diet like completely is that I won't be drinking coffee anymore, because overall I feel a lot better not having that. Tuna, I have not touched that since, and I used to love just tuna salad. Tuna salad was like my go-to like entree sometimes. And then I'm also limited eating eggs. Like I don't eat eggs for breakfast. I really never was drawn to eggs anyway. I really only liked them one way, and it made me feel different. Like it gave me an upset stomach when I ate eggs. And so I can have egg in certain dishes, but it has to be not the prominent ingredient in the item. So like quiches and things like that, I do not do. I've never liked Brazil nuts. Now I know why. Cheese and dairy, I have already started doing like combinations of just non-dairy alternatives, so that doesn't make it too hard. And I do a pescatarian diet, so a lot of people had questions about will I introduce meat back into my diet, and I probably will just stay with the fish for now, because I know that hormones are injected. Like if it depends. Okay, I'll say this. I don't know. I'll say this. It depends on how the animal is taken care of. Like maybe grass-fed animals as opposed to farm-raised, grain-fed animals, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not ready to like take that next step until I know what the results of my hormone test are. I would encourage you, if you feel like you're experiencing pain or just different things and you just don't know where it's coming from, but you suspect food, I definitely would encourage you to take this test, because it's a start in the right direction when it comes to your health. I had never heard of it prior to this, and a lot of times I always be like, I'm allergic to it, but I'm intolerant. It's not gonna create a histamine in my body where my body just goes into like shutdown mode. So some of these symptoms do take up to 48 hours before they even show up. But for me, I notice symptoms pretty much right away when I eat something that I'm intolerant to. So comment below if you have a food intolerance, and tell me how you found out that you were intolerant to that food. And then also like what things have you replaced, or what have you been doing in replacement of the food that you had to take away from your diet. Like this video if you liked it, and thank you so much. Share with your friends, especially anybody who could benefit from just knowing that there's options out there about food intolerances.
That's Canadian Queen 76 do. Go and find it exclusively on YouTube. Oh yeah.